everyone, this is Peter Light here, and today I will be talking about my first impressions of Sonic Crossworlds, because there was a lot I want to talk about in this video, and there are some things I liked and some things that I hated, but could be worked on before the whole release of the game releases. Also, disclaimer, I won't be talking about the Extreme Gear in this video because I couldn't play the Extreme Gear in this beta, nor could anyone else. Also, I'm starting to live stream more on YouTube and Twitch where I play Sonic and Mario games. I will also play Mario Kart 8 with viewers, so if you want to go up against the best Mario Kart player in the world, no bias here, then consider subscribing and ring the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload and a new video for when I stream. Be sure to also watch the whole video because you won't want to miss what I have to hear on the
two things that I hated in this beta.
You'll hear about it, but like I hated them so much. Hope you guys enjoy the video. So far for the first and maybe only beta, this game was so addicting and fun. When I booted up the game, the menu theme was so good. It sounded like the Olympics vibe to this song because it had the choir vibe to the song, and that's not the lies you'll hear about the choir in this game. When you play the other tracks, you'll reach the third lap and start to hear the choir again, letting you know it's now or never to complete the race for victory. The music honestly was really good, though I couldn't hear the music all that much because there was so much audio for the beta. Like, there were no settings to turn on and off for the things on in the game, so I could only hear the music somewhat. Now, to the racing. When you first start out in the race against half of the lobby being real players and the other half being robots, when you just starting to play the game, the controls felt really stiff, and the drifting and stunts felt stiff too. But the more I played, the more it didn't feel like stiff to me. I think just playing the game more is really important because then you'll know if the controls are stiff or not, or if you pretty much will just get used to them, as like I did. The car I really loved and liked, but the physics in the car in the midair really needs fixing because there were points at time where I wanted to steer in midair left or right to avoid going off the track, but it just wouldn't let me and I fell off the track. I really hope for the full release that they make it to where you trick on the right control stick instead of on the left, and for right control stick. I think you should be able to steer in midair because for the whole entire game, really the right control stick wasn't used at all. The steering and drifting was really good, so there doesn't need to be any changing on that. The boat, however, needs to drift in the game. There is this one turn in the game, and you probably guys know what I'm talking about, and that's on Ocean View, where you need to slow down a lot to even make the turn, but if you go full speed ahead, then you're going to crash. Even when I slowed down, I still ran into the wall. Either then I need to make a wider turn, and then to make a drifting system of some kind for the boat. They need to make a drifting system for the boat, please. And the trick system was fine, and the physics for the boat are fine too. I just think they needs to be a drift for them. Now to the gliding section. This needs to be worked on the most because even when the drifting system in the helping section before you start the race or during the race will tell you that drifting will make you turn a sharp turn when you boost. But I personally think this needs a lot of work because the turning is just not as fluid and it's really hard to just turn in general flying mode. I wish the drifting system was like what it was in Sega and Sonic All-Stars Racing transformed, because turning in flight mode in that game was really good. And I think they need to adjust the physics a little bit in the flight mode, just a little bit. And also one more thing I noticed while drifting is that sometimes I find myself not turning at all when I was drifting and not being able to turn and go up and down in some cases. I don't know what was going on, but I just think that the turning of flight mode needs to turn tuning and to be fixed a lot. Other than that, I feel like the flight mode and everything else of the game was really good. Let's talk about the item. Oh boy, you already know what I'm gonna say about these two specific items, but I'll leave those for last. Okay, so for the items overall, I think they were not balanced whatsoever. Some of them need more of a oomph to them, and some needs to be nerfed a lot. For the boost, I think it needs to have a more of a oomph, so you know what I mean, because what I mean by oomph is that for the boost, when I would boost, it didn't seem like it was going fast at all. And so I think it needs more of a tuning to let you go a lot faster. And that's what I mean by oomph. For the other items, the boot, aka Blue Shell, hits the #1 player, but it leaves several blue tornadoes on the field for other players to get hit by, like second, third, and fourth. It does not need to be in the game. I think the boot needs to only be hit first place, and that's it. Now for the green goo. The item hits everyone like a lightning bolt, does in Mario Kart. But in this, you need to turn the control stick clockwise to get rid of the goo. This goo also slows you down.
Now for the 2 items that I hated.
Let's start off with the freaking Ninja Star. As I would call it, a Beyblade. This thing slices your car in half, and while it's doing this, you slow down a lot. And then when it slices your car in half, you then slow down even more, and then there's more. You can't even steer when it cuts your car in half for like 3 seconds, and you even lose an item in your inventory when it hits you. Now for the final one that I despise the most in this beta, because the monster truck needs to be nerfed so badly. When you get hit by the monster truck, you then are squished and float in midair, and then you can't even steer for 3 whole seconds, leaving you vulnerable to hitting a wall or driving off the track or running into more items that will then slow you down even more. You then also are slowed down so much that it takes forever to get back up to speed, and also you lose an item too. Mixed with this, the final 3 seconds of the race and that home stretch, you then get hit by a Beyblade or monster truck, you are guaranteed 9th to last place. I cannot even tell you how much I got 9th or even lower place because of the stupid item in the game. This item needs to be nerfed and balanced so badly. If you saw my stream also, you will know how much anger I felt towards the monster truck for the final 3 seconds. Please, Sega, fix this, please. I cannot tell you. There are like 20 plus races where the final home stretch, I would get hit by a Beyblade or a monster truck, and I would just get 9th or 12th place. Well, now you might say that there's an item detection in the bottom screen. Well, I mean, when you are in the home stretch, you got those people, I mean, they put that thing in their inventory and they use the item very last second, and so there's like no way of even telling when they're going to use it, and there's no way of just avoiding it because they use it right when they're behind you, so you can't even avoid that. I get smashed! Are you serious? Let's go! I got last place! Let's go! Let's go! I am so happy I got last place!
Last place! Let's go!
Oh, I'm so over! I am so over the stupid monster truck! I am so over that thing! I'm so over it! Okay, so I digress. So now for the character roster overall. I really like the character roster they have, and there are only the first 12, I think, characters you can choose from this beta. But there will, of course, be more in the full game, and even more after you can choose from this beta. But there will, of course, be more in the full game, and even more after the full game has launched. Although, I wish the characters had all the star moves in this game, like how they did in Transformed and all the other Sonic Racing games, at least for the cards games, because I thought there was like really cool to use. But I guess for the bullet bill, we have the drill list for a bullet bill in this game. I guess you can use that for instead of the All-Stars move. But yeah, I wish there was a All-Stars move in this game, and I wish the characters themselves gave you benefits in the game for like more speed and acceleration, etc. Like how they did in the past Sonic Racing games. Yes, you can choose said car parts and said cars in general, but I wish there was just characters themselves that also provide an extra boost in the game to help you win a race, like extra stats or whatever. I really wish they would have that in the game. Who knows, they could put those in the game very last second. I'm sure it probably wouldn't like need to be like implemented like far beyond like even before beta. I'm sure that they could put it in like last second, just because I feel like it wouldn't need that much to be worked on. But I don't know how the video game works, so, or how it's made, so I could be wrong. The gadgets were hit and miss. There were some that I absolutely loved, and some that I literally didn't ever use for them ever. There are some that I needed to literally be taken out of the game and have a better and more useful gadget in there, or I just have it to be more better in the game. There were some that I loved and that I hope that they don't touch in the final version of the game. I hope they also add more useful and better ones in the final game too, so more people can have different strategies than you. Now for the last thing, the tracks. The tracks are really good so far, and I love how the level design of them and how they work with the Crossworlds idea. I really don't have any complaints for the tracks because they're all really good. I just wish there were more in the beta, but I know that they can't really show all of them because it's just a beta and they only want to show a few, and they don't want to show the whole game and show all the tracks, because then when the final game like launches, you pretty much would have played like all the tracks, so that would leave it less appetizing for people to buy the game. So yeah, I understand that point. But anyways, thanks for watching this video, and if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all so much in supporting me, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all in the stream and in the next video in the comments down below. Have a nice day, and as always, let's go!